In the last 3 years, central banks around the world have quietly seized control of more than 200 tons of gold, an amount so enormous it dwarfs the entire national reserves of most countries on Earth. Poland didn't just dip a toe in the water. They stormed the market and grabbed nearly 500 tons in a single, frantic push. China's official numbers admit to hundreds of tons, but the whispers from the vaults, the shadows of state-owned refineries, they scream thousands more. Turkey, India, Hungary, Egypt, even tiny nations you've never heard of. They are all racing, swapping their paper dollars for cold, unbreakable metal at a pace never seen in modern history. This is not investing. This is survival. Central banks do not panic buy record-shattering amounts of gold because they woke up one morning and decided it looked pretty. They buy gold when they know, with ice-cold certainty, that something catastrophic is coming. Something the public is still being told is under control. And right now, every single data point, every leaked memo, every hushed conversation in Basel and Beijing is screaming the same terrifying deadline: late 2026 to early 2027. That is the moment. Multiple economic apocalypses collide at once. The Congressional Budget Office has already put it in writing. Debt will smash through 106% of GDP by 2027. And that's their optimistic scenario. The IMF's nightmare projection says global debt hits 117%. In the same window, academic models, stripped of politics and hope, show the debt spiral becoming mathematically irreversible by 2026. These are not conspiracy blogs. These are the official forecasts of the very institutions that run the world. But while politicians scream about budget cuts and central bankers lecture us about transitory inflation, the people who actually control the money are doing something far more honest. They are running for their lives. They are not buying gold to hedge inflation. They are buying gold to survive the violent death of the dollar system that has ruled the planet since 1944. Let me take you behind the curtain. Let me show you exactly what they see, why gold is their last lifeline, and why the greatest transfer of real wealth in human history is happening right now, in plain sight. While most of the world is still asleep, 2024 alone saw central banks swallow 1,045 tons, the third straight year above 1,000 tons. Compare that to the sleepy decade before 2022, when the annual average was just 473 tons. They have more than doubled their historical pace, and they are still accelerating. But even those headline numbers are a lie. The World Gold Council quietly admitted that in the first quarter of 2025, documented purchases were only 22% of actual demand. Do the math. The real number is 4 times higher than what they're willing to admit in public. They are buying through shell companies, through sovereign mining giants, through backroom deals that never appear on any official ledger. They are terrified of starting a stampede. Look at Poland if you want proof this is war, not diversification. In 2019, they held almost no gold. Today, they sit on 515 tons, 22% of their entire reserves. A modern European nation just converted 1/5 of everything it owns into a yellow metal that hasn't been used as money in the West for 50 years. That is not a portfolio adjustment. That is a nation preparing for the end of money as we know it. And Poland is the polite one. The countries that actually fear Western sanctions, Russia, Iran, Venezuela, and dozens more, have gone completely dark. When the West froze $300 billion of Russian reserves overnight in 2022, every central banker on Earth heard the same gunshot. Dollar assets can be stolen with a signature. Gold cannot. That single moment in 2022 lit the fuse. Central bank buying exploded 140% the same year. Nations that had never owned an ounce suddenly couldn't get enough because they finally understood the system that promised safety for 70 years has become the greatest weapon of financial mass destruction ever built. Now look at the supply side, because this is where the nightmare becomes suffocating. Global gold mining scraped together just 1% growth in 2024, the weakest in over a decade. Total demand, almost 5,000 tons. The gap was filled by grandmothers pawning wedding rings. There is no new Alaska. There is no new Witwatersrand. New mines take 10, 15 years to come online, and the industry is finding less gold every year. Ore grades have collapsed, costs are exploding. The easy gold is gone forever. Central banks are not competing with retail investors anymore. They are competing with each other for the last remaining above-ground stocks on the planet. And they know the clock is ticking louder than any of us can hear. That is why they are willing to pay any price, expose their hand, abandon all secrecy, because they believe they have less than 2 years before the entire system detonates. The debt math is merciless.
You see.
Interest payments have already tripled since 2017 and now eat more of the budget than the Pentagon. By 2027, the CBO says interest alone could become the largest line item in American history, when a superpower spends more keeping its old debt alive than defending its borders. The end is not coming. It has already arrived. The dollar's share of global reserves just crashed to 7%, the lowest in decades, and it's still falling. The dollar lost 7% in the first half of 2025 alone. Its worst beating in half a century. Foreigners aren't waiting for permission anymore. They are dumping dollar assets while they still can. And the final irony, even voices inside Washington are starting to whisper. That reserve currency status has become a curse, not a privilege. When the empire itself begins questioning the throne it built, you need to understand, the throne is already burning. Central banks are not waiting for the fire to reach them. China didn't report a single ounce of gold buying for years. Yet analysts now estimate their true holdings exceed 6,000 tons, maybe far more. Russia converted almost everything to gold before the sanctions hit. They watched their dollars vanish, and their gold stay exactly where it was, in their own vaults, untouchable. Everyone else learned the lesson. Repatriation is now a flood. Germany dragged hundreds of tons home from New York. Poland, the Netherlands, Austria, India, they're all pulling their gold back behind their own borders, building vaults that look more like military bunkers than bank basements. Because when the system breaks, physical possession will be the only thing that matters. The Bank for International Settlements, the most powerful financial institution you've never heard of, has stopped pretending. Their latest research isn't about propping up the dollar system anymore. It's about how gold can become the settlement backbone of a world that no longer trusts paper promises. New payment networks are already live. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization is testing gold-backed trade settlement that completely bypasses SWIFT and the dollar. BRICS nations aren't talking about it anymore. They're doing it. This is not preparation for a crisis. This is preparation for the world after the crisis. The institutions that spent 70 years guarding the dollar order are now racing to build the lifeboats, and they're making sure they have the biggest piles of gold when the ship goes down. The countdown is not coming. It's already started. Every ton they buy today is a vote of no confidence in tomorrow. Every vault they fortify is an admission that the rules are about to change forever. And every day you still believe this is just market noise. They get stronger, and the window for you to act gets smaller. 2026 to 2027 is not a forecast. It is the moment the music stops. When that day comes, the countries with gold will write the new rules. The countries without it will beg to sit at the table. The central banks have already chosen which side they'll be on. The only question left is yours.